We are recording. I can't call
Okay,
you
cool.
Sideways Mike anymore because you are no longer Sideways Mike.
No,
You're straight up Mike. You're straight
upside
up
right, Mike. Yeah.
Side right Mike. There we go. I like
Hi,
that.
Trish. How are you?
I am great. I just wanted to share with you that this conversation, you've gone, oh, great.
There
This
I am.
conversation with you is getting me reams of homework. Homework.
Oh my gosh.
I
I
have
didn't
reading
mean for that to
assignments.
happen.
Watch this. I have reading assignments.
Oh, that's homework. There's like homework that like sucks, like trigonometry or whatever. You might like that
Emily
one.
and the Strangers. Do you like this one?
It's okay.
The comic book history of comics.
That's good stuff to know.
Okay. Tales of the Fair Agent. This is the book.
That's just all that
book.
stuff's going to be in those two big hardcovers over there to your left.
I Kill Giants.
Oh yeah, and there's a movie too that you should check out that they made of that.
This one.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you're going to be tested on this later. So, The Death of Gru.
Okay. I don't think he died.
Oh, okay.
False advertising.
False advertising. Oh, and that's it. So now my question for you is, of the homework assignments that I have received, which one do you think I should read first?
You know, even though Fear Agent's my favorite, I mean, if you look at that looks like a massive undertaking of
I wouldn't do the big
two
one.
books.
I would do the little one. Trust me.
Yeah, but that's not the little one only works if you've read the main story. That's just like people playing in that universe. So I would say I Kill Giants.
Really?
And
okay.
Yeah. And
all right.
Because you can read it in like one or two sittings.
I'm getting a nod and a smile from the orchestra here. So
yeah. Well, you can read it in one or two sittings. If you can't find the movie on Netflix, I might have the DVD. I think I do, but I'm not sure. But you know, like with something like that, what's interesting, I mean, the comic is good in and of itself, but what's interesting is to see how it translates to another medium.
Yeah. It's sort of like
film.
when you have a novel or anything like that, right? And then
exactly. I mean, sometimes it does. I think that was one of the times where they did a good job adapting it, and it wasn't like adherent to each and every frame of the comic. You know, it was like, you know, okay, this is a story. This is how it works in comics. This is how it works in film. If you ever watched the Sin City movie, which I loved when I first saw it because it was such a literal adaptation of the graphic novel. But then later I was like, oh yeah, this is so stiff and stilted and, you know, like
the movie
in some ways gross. You know, it wasn't good. But that's, you know, one of the things us geeks always rage about is like, you know, why do they have to change it, you know, and sometimes they change too much, I think. But anytime you go from one medium to another, be it from a comic to a video game or from a comic to a movie or from a comic to even just like a prose novel, like each medium has its own strengths and weaknesses, you know? So Sin City was the literal example of like, oh, this is why you should maybe change some things.
Interesting. Well, I think also when you introduce new creatives, new writers, new videos.
Everybody wants to put their stamp on it.
They want to feel it a little bit the way they feel it, right?
Exactly.
So I'm looking at this one. Thank you for the advice. I will have my homework done next week. So one of my goals one of my goals in this whole exercise is to geekify in the terms, I'm already a geek, you may know that, but as a comic book geek might see it. So
well, you have a lot of geek radiation in your household too. Like there's some gamma rays.
I do. I've been bitten by a radioactive geek, he says.
Something like that, yeah.
This is one of the reasons I thought it might be entertaining to have this discussion at home. So thank you. I think.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I was late today, but. Yeah.
No, actually, for me to have the discussion at home, it might need to be this late. So it actually.
We can plan for 7:00 on Tuesdays if you want to do that. Yeah.
And
it might be better.
Got to figure out some live streaming and stuff. But right now, I don't want to. I've taken up way more of this conversation than I planned.
No, it's okay. It's all good. I mean, like my Tuesdays are basically I wait for the UPS guy to come to bring the stuff, which gives me a really good reason to kind of lay around and be lazy, which is awesome. Today he got here around 4. And I did everybody's polls, and it's funny because like I used to, back when I was at the Bug, obviously, we did everything as a team at the shop, like I had my section of the subscription book, and Gerald had his section, and different people had their own sections, and now like my business obviously isn't as big as that. We're still a baby comic shop. But I could do everything here, and like people call me, like I'm not at the store, but I'm working, and people call in and like, oh, can I add this? Do you have that? And I kind of adjust, and like some people even come over and pick up their stuff, which kind of reminds me of like how comic shops were back in the 70s, when they worked out of a cigar box. And I dig it. Like, I'll watch a couple movies. Yeah, no, talking to my buddy Jeffrey, rest in peace. But he used to operate, he lived in his store for a while and didn't have a cash register. And I mean, these are bordering on the times that like that, where it's like just kind of a no man's land, But people have been really cool and supportive, and I had a few customers because I don't know if Don probably remembers. I don't know if you remember, but there was a big thing like when DC left Diamond Comics. I was like, F DC, I'm not carrying any DC anymore. And I found a way to carry it. So one of my customers, he's like, oh, I haven't been buying DC from you because I didn't know you've been getting DC. I'm like, yeah, I've been getting DC for, a couple months, it was, so I don't have it today. I'll have it tomorrow. But
it's a little tricky.
You want to dive into what's good this week?
I do. Share with us.
All right. I'm not going to show you every single book, but I'll show you some books.
Okay. Sounds good. Mike's picks for
Black
this week.
Widow. We all know her. We all love her. This is issue 5, and I'm assuming, Marvel's plan was that the movie would be out and would be a big hit, and there'd be a lot of new Black Widow fans for this series. And that's not necessarily the case right now, but it's still a good book. We carry it. We have it. And
is the movie in the planning?
Oh, they made the movie like a year and a half ago.
Oh.
It was supposed to come out May of 2020.
Oh.
And it's now been pushed back to May of 2021.
Wow.
I mean, it's completely finished. It's done.
Wow.
My bet is that it'll probably be coming out on Disney Plus streaming. That's just my assumption.
That's me, a deep sigh.
I know. Well, I miss going to the theater, but it's not a safe thing to do right now. So.
Right. Thank you.
Let me see what else is good. I'm a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy.
OMG. I want to tell you, I was listening to the radio this morning, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the guy was saying, the radio show host was saying that the sales of cassettes has gone through the roof. And
Of Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, just cassettes.
Music. Because of the movie, though, maybe?
I don't know, but I can only think that it must be, right?
It probably had well, I mean, check this out. Let me show you something. Because I got it in hold on one sec. Okay. I think I got it right here. I never opened it because I own the record and the CD. But this is the Guardians of the Galaxy
Mixtape.
Awesome Mix Volume 1. That's official. That's like legit. There's a little Disney sticker right
there. And it's got all of his writing, like he hand wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's more of a, I think, a prop than anything, you know. But yeah, I have a little
totally cool.
A little collection of cassettes here. You see it?
That is awesome. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So, but Guardians is in there. I mean, cassette. Yeah, that was. Remember when we all used to make mixtapes and stuff?
I think I'll be honest. We have records from when we were young, boxes of them, and we still have a container of tapes that Don made when he was just a wee fellow.
Yeah, I mean, they're still relevant, and like, there was another thing I read on the internet today. You might have to Google it, but it's crazy. There's a lot of videotapes that go for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Like mostly Disney movies, but
now they
like
tell
the Star
me.
Wars trilogy.
Oh.
Huh?
The Star Wars, right?
I don't throw anything away, so I don't throw anything away. So I still have all my videotapes. But yeah, I mean, you know, nostalgia is a commodity.
Well, I think possibly, especially now, right? Because we all want to hold on to those memories, those things dear to us.
Yeah, and we're all stuck in our houses, and we have time to. Like, I've watched more movies and TV than I've watched in the last 20 years. You know,
I have watched a lot of TV.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, you know, when you work at a comic shop, like, people come in, they're like, "Oh, did you see, you know, Daredevil, or did you see Smallville, or whatever?" And it was all I could do to keep up with just the Marvel movies. And one of my ulterior motives for doing those screenings we would do was, okay, like, let me make this part of my duty.
There you go.
So I feel like, yeah, it was like,
that's a great idea, because then you have to look at it, right? You have to make sure you get it. You know, I mean, it's always enjoyable.
Trust me, the whole reason I do this is because I love comics and I love the genre and the medium and everything. But you know, like, when we did a few things before we started having the group screenings, we had, like, you know, we would go and promote, like, even like as far back as I remember, Revenge of the Sith, you know, which would have been 2005, like shortly after our shop opened. And we would go and hand out flyers, and, like, we didn't do a group screening, but, you know, we wanted, like, I recognize the fact that that's next level stuff, above and yeah.
And doing it in costume would be totally awesome.
We did some stuff. We even had the thing out for the Fantastic Four. I have photos of that somewhere, but
wow.
I had a homeless friend that lived up in Hollywood, and he cosplayed as the Thing to, you know, make money. Don probably
right, on
that.
Hollywood, right, for sure.
But we brought him. I went and picked him up. I brought him down. We used him to promote, you know, the fact that we were there. But then the first official like screening where we're all in the room was Thor Dark World, the second Thor movie. And I think you guys were there. You certainly should have been invited if you weren't. Does Don remember?
He has stepped out. He had to go sign.
Oh, he stepped out. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, and then that was without a poster. Then we started charging money and doing the posters and stuff. But you know, that's something that I want to get back to.
Well, the posters were good. They're very cute and a nice touch, and gives an opportunity to a local artist, right? I mean, that's the big
a good opportunity to local artists, and certainly, you know, you look at these and they're a good memory, like of that night, even if the movie wasn't always great, you know, Suicide Squad. But
I don't know, I kind of liked it.
It was all right. It wasn't the worst DC movie, but the event is what it's about, you know.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the comics this week.
More comics. Show us the comics.
This is a one-shot that comes out tomorrow. Immortal Hulk Flatline.
Talking about.
So it's not written by Al Ewing, who is the acclaimed writer of the Immortal Hulk series. It ties into the book somehow.
I'm sorry,
my buddy Mike. Larry Hama. Huh?
I'm sorry, Mike. What was the name? Al who?
Al Ewing, Ewing.
Usually writes the Hulk series.
Is the main writer.
But didn't write this.
Yeah, this is written by somebody else. Oops, I lost the place here. It's written by
an up-and-comer.
Declan Shelby.
Okay.
And he wrote and drew it. So, and then yeah, the next issue of Immortal Hulk will be out, 44. It's one of the best books on the stands. It's up there with Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. In fact, it's been compared to Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, which is a legendary run of comics. It's like Swamp Thing was kind of like a B character, you know, just a dumb creature from the swamp. And Alan Moore took over and made it this very cerebral and disturbing horror book. And Immortal Hulk is kind of like that. It's also kind of like Christopher Priest's run on Black Panther. So it's got a bit of a cinematic thing going for it, and it's not like you pick the book up and it's like you read 22 pages of glob. You know, it's broken up, and there's like, you know, that like he kind of followed the formula a little bit. He'll start it with like a quote, you know, like this one's from William Butler Yeats, and you know, you'll get pages of horror, and you'll get, you know, it's really well done. And
can you hold it up to the screen so I can see it?
Oh sure. Yeah. Let me.
The quote.
Oh, the quote. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know, you're freezing a little bit, but bring it closer. Bring it closer.
Many times he died. Many times he rose again. William Butler Yeats.
Okay,
so,
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know what that came from, but and then there's Larry Hama's Iron Fist.
Wait, back up. So this one, is this like a first issue? Or is it
the Hulk?
The one that
it's a one shot.
A one shot, okay.
Yeah. So that series is up to issue 44 of the ongoing series, but this is kind of like a standalone one shot. So if you're collecting the book, you know, it adds to it, I guess I would say. Totally. Yeah. And then we have
Iron Fist.
Get some good light on it. Iron Fist. He had his own series on Netflix a couple of years ago.
We watched it. I am familiar with the character, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most loved show, was it?
It actually wasn't. I mean, I thought it was good. It did get a little weird, as a lot of shows get after you get into it far enough, you know.
I think they should have embraced more of the comic book aspect of the character. So this is one of the things that's kind of big right now in comics, and this is the King in Black. You see that?
Are you showing me? Yeah. Oh, wow. Cool.
So it's Venom. It's a new character called Null. Pretty encompassing of the Marvel universe right now, as it is. It should wrap up. Oh, this is a great book. Thor. Thor number 12. You see that?
No, not yet. You're sort of right. Now I see it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
We all love Thor.
Yeah, Thor's good. One of the best writers in mainstream comics right now is Donny Cates. I think he's also writing King in Black, if I'm not mistaken. He is. And he's doing a really phenomenal job on Thor. Lots of surprises. Characters. I don't want to spoil too much, but characters that have been around for a long time, surprisingly, killed and turned into monuments. And we all know, everybody's gonna eventually come back from the dead, but
that is the lovely thing about comic books and comic book characters, that it's almost a given that yes, they will eventually die, and yes, they will resurrect.
Exactly, except for Uncle Ben so far. Yeah, I have a little challenge we like to do at Atomic Basement where it's like, oh yeah, can you name a character who hasn't died? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, Green Lantern's died. Superman obviously is the biggest one. Batman has died. Captain America's died. Spider-Man's died. Hulk has died. No, I can't. Only my characters haven't died, the ones I write.
Okay, so let's play a game, Mike.
Okay.
Are you ready to play my game? Let's call it Superhero A to Z. A.
Superhero what?
A to Z.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? Or do you want to play it next week?
Do you want me to just name a superhero? You want me to go down the alphabet?
Yeah.
And name. Okay.
Yeah. A.
All right. Amethyst, Batman, Captain America, Daredevil, Elektra, Fear Agent.
Okay.
I'm starting to forget the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E,
G.
F.
I'll give you G.
Gladiator.
A.
Shoot. H. I know somebody. Hellion.
Okay.
Hellion.
I.
Okay. Imperial Guard.
J.
Jackal.
K.
Killmonger.
L.
Longshot.
M.
Magneto.
N.
Nighthawk.
O.
Ooh. Oh, I could cheat and pull out a price guide, but I'm not going to do that.
Don't do that. O.
Oracle.
E.
P would be I need help. Can I call on a lifeline?
Sure. I wish my lifeline was here. He would probably be quite entertained by this question.
Okay,
we'll finish the alphabet.
I can't think of his name, and I think it starts with a P. But I use one. I remember it's Squadron Supreme.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Let's call the game now, and next week I'll make sure the lifeline's here.
I did pretty good though, right? I made it all the way to
Very good. Yeah. Well, and to be honest, I didn't give you any warning at all.
No,
So
that's I like surprises.
thank you for being willing to play the game without any warning. I mean, you know,
Of course, yeah. No, I'm all down for a surprise. I still have a few comics to talk about if we have time.
Totally. Let's see
Okay.
it.
So if you're a fan of 90s X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
I want to recommend this one here, which is X-Men Legends. And it's written by Fabian Nicienza, who was the co-creator of Deadpool back in the 90s. And
wow, Deadpool is that old, huh?
Oh yeah, Deadpool. He's 30, I think. And it's drawn by Brett Booth, who is also has a very 90s style to his artwork. So that'll be something you want to check out this week. There's also this really cool book. I sold out of the first issue, but we do have a bunch of number 2s. It's The Last Ronin. So you've heard of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I made the costume for my nephew many years ago.
Yeah, so this is the last living turtle. And I think in the first issue, you kind of find out who it is. I'm not going to say, because I think it's fun to keep the surprise. Because the turtles, when they first came out, they all had red masks, all 4 of them. They were only distinguishable by their weapons and their personalities.
And then later they changed the colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the cartoons and stuff, for marketing, for toys. But
so it's not Raphael?
I'm not going to tell you who it is. All the other 3 turtles are dead. And there's 1 turtle left, and he's got all 4 of their weapons. So
that's
you have to read it.
Oh, the lifeline has returned.
Yeah, but it's also intriguing, right? Yeah. It takes place in a Ninja Turtle future. And then let me dig into my indie stuff that is exciting this week.
Indie's great. We love indie.
Yeah, so Don knows Brian Haberlin, who is one of the creators of Arya. This was a book he did also in the 90s. And it's gorgeous. I mean, it's really well done. Brian Haberlin, I think Brian Hoagland is the writer on this. Very, as you can see, intricate artwork.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. So I'm excited to have that in the store tomorrow.
So Mike,
it's called Arya.
These are in your new shipment? Or are you sharing something?
This stuff that's coming out tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you said it's something about the 90s. So.
Oh well, no, yeah, well he's bringing this back out from.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's a new series based on something he did back in the day.
Oh. Okay. I know about the day.
If you want to be disturbed, haha.
Only lightly. Lovely.
Yeah. Well, maybe somebody out there watching. Well,
don't look in the mirror. Yeah,
I read the first issue. I think each issue is going to be kind of a different thing. Like it's more of an anthology book.
I see.
But it's messed up clowns and stuff like that. So the first issue is pretty depressing and disturbing. Young Hellboy comes out tomorrow.
Baby Hellboy.
So, Baby Hellboy, yeah. Oh, this looks really good. So this is from a newer company called Vault, and it's called Hollow Heart. Can you see it?
I see that.
Yeah, and it looks to have a kind of a sci-fi horror vibe, kind of like The Expanse or something like that.
Yeah, it did look a little on the horrible side.
Yeah, more sci-fi than horror, though, I would say. But yeah, that's something I'll have tomorrow.
Great.
Valiant Comics is bringing us Savage, which I haven't read, but looks savage. Yeah.
So how many of these small publishers do you receive inventory from?
Oh, I mean, I try to spread it out everywhere. Last one. Walking
Oh,
Dead. They're doing
okay.
these deluxe color editions of they're reprinting the whole series in color.
The Walking Dead.
You know,
Who is
to number
this?
9. So only, huh?
Who is this one? Which company does the Walking
Image
Dead?
does that.
Image.
Image Comics. But yeah, I mean, I get stuff from Aftershock, from Dynamite, from Boom, from Vault, from Scout Comics, Image, obviously, Dark Horse.
It's quite a few of the publishing companies.
Well, if you come to the store, you'll see like my independent wall is almost as big as my Marvel and DC wall combined. But you know, I carry stuff from all of them. Like I try to carry the full assortment of Marvel and DC. DC's kind of pulled back a little bit on their publishing, on their amount of titles, which is maybe a good thing because with Future State, which is their new thing they're doing, the sales have been up because they're not publishing as many books, as many different titles. So it's easier to
hone in on what people will get.
Exactly. If you want to immerse yourself, like you can pick up, you know, maybe the entire line. There's like 8 or 9 books a week, you know, and they are a little pricier, but they're thicker, and they've made some of the other like sort of comics they were going to publish have become backup features in some of the main books. So like, for instance, my friend Brandon Easton, who I think you met, was writing a Mr. Miracle book, and it was going to be its own thing, and then it became a backup feature in Superman.
Oh.
So, but
so
now
is that good or bad when that happens?
I think it's good.
I mean,
overall,
yeah, Superman, right? Good.
I mean, however, Superman, you know, used to be a $3.99 book. Now it's $7.99. So if you want Superman, you get the Superman, and you get like 10 pages of Mr. Miracle and 10 pages of something else. But it's for a limited amount of time. It's a way to experiment, and you know, they started this down this path, and then it kind of got cut off, and so rather than just waste all the money they'd paid to get all that content created, they did this 2-month event that they're doing. So
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
I want to ask you one more question that I observed. So like you showed that last comic was The Walking Dead, and it was by Image Comics, and The Walking Dead is huge in the TV show, right? I mean, they've got
it's crossed over into video games, TV, you know, toys.
But was it first a comic book, or was it?
Yeah.
And Image owned the comic book, right?
Well, funny story about The Walking Dead. Well, anybody that puts out a comic through Image, the creator owns it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So Walking Dead was pitched, and this is in the backup of one of the graphic novels or collected editions. Robert Kirkman, he created the character called Battle Pope. And Battle Pope. This was back in 2001. And Battle Pope was a pope that fought, you know, demons and stuff. And his sidekick was this Jesus guy that like was a total stoner that lived with him. Like worthless, like just smoked weed and whatever. So he did like that for 4 months. And I want to say the first thing he did after that was probably Walking Dead, which he pitched to Image. And he pitched it, he wanted to do a Night of the Living Dead comic. So Night of the Living Dead, the old 1960s horror movie. Anybody that wants to make something called Night of the Living Dead can do it. Like if you wanted to do a Night of the Living Dead Lego set, the rights are public access.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Kirkman pitched a Night of the Living Dead comic to Image, and the publisher at the time was Jim Valentino. And he's like, well, you should, we don't have to change anything about your pitch, but you should make it something that you can copyright. Because if you do Night of the Living Dead, you can't copyright it.
Mm-hmm.
So he is so fortunate that he was given that advice, because like, look how much money he made after, I mean, he really built an empire from essentially wanting to do a Night of the Living Dead comic.
Huh, that's very cool. So the moral of the story is you can take inspiration from it, but don't
make it be something you can own. Yeah. I mean, and he wasn't even the first to do it. There was a book called Dead World that, it lasted about 3 years, and it unfortunately didn't become a TV show or a movie. I mean, they should do something with it. But I mean, it was the same premise. It was the exact, and there's even been other comics called Walking Dead, but
before.
Yeah, there was one that came out before. But it lasted like 3 issues.
Huh.
So
cool. Lots of great trivia. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm here to inform and engage.
I think we've done that today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's good to thank you for being patient. And maybe we'll do it at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think what we'll do next time is you'll tell me how many books you have, so that I won't interrupt the flow of your. Yeah. So
we go with the flow.
Thanks, Mike. It's awesome.
All right, bye guys. Maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool. All right, maybe I'm gonna hang up. Let me. I think.
Bye.
Figure it out. Okay.
Bye.
Guys. Good night.
Please subscribe to channel Squiggle Mom Super Cute, Super Cute.